we're back into the next game. Our third best of 3 of the night. Our coach, Toperoco, still undefeated with a 4-0 run. If you want to see how well he's doing, you can type !match in the chat. But so far, O2 and O2, our challengers, find no joy in their demise. So our third man to step up to the plate to face against this tower of terror, this I can't think of a word that starts with Z, Zerg, this powerful Protoss, he is Toperoco. And his opponent, hoping to unseat the champion, playing Protoss, in the green from his own clan. Look at that, that's impressive. It's Jayhxmo. Toperoco opening with a hatch before pool. Pretty common opening here. Getting 1 gas. Overlord going out. Jay dropping his own expansion, and I imagine Cybernetics Core to finish off, or to begin to finish off that wall at his natural. So pretty common from both players here. Wow, Hybrid in the chat, you're doing awesome, dude. Thanks for helping these people out. It's so kind of you to offer your support and advice. We don't see that all the time, so it's nice. It's real nice. Alright, natural is going to finish up for Toperoco here. Just as a curious little probe pops up the third. And gets a scout off. Hybrid, I don't know if there are going to be any more tournaments like this. I actually didn't organize this tournament. There's a guy in the chat named Pixelman, Cryogenic, who did organize this tournament. Or helped organize it, I guess. The guys on the Discord server, Platinum Heroes Discord, they were the primary organizers for the tournament. So I'm sure they do this probably regularly, but I can't make any promises for them. So maybe one of those guys from that Discord can pop in and let you know when the next one might be. I run viewer matches all the time, and I've got plans for a tournament soon. But no promises as of yet. Alright, so Twilight Council is up. It looks like, oh, Toperoco just barely gonna miss it. Wow, by a pixel. Look at that. Unbelievable. Not gonna see that Twilight going down, but if he was quick, he did see that Dark Shrine go down. So, yeah, again, if we look at Toperoco's vision here, check it out. He could just barely... Okay, now he flies over and sees it again, and now he knows what to expect. Immediately, we'll see him respond, I imagine, by plopping down some spores and feeling good. Ovi, go away. Let me out. Look at the BM from Toperoco patrolling over the top of this Dark Shrine. That is the most bad-mannered overlord I've ever seen in my life. You absolute monster. Look at that. Spores going down. This is fantastic. Oh, jeez, that wall. Oh, wow. Gateways stacked up behind it. And the Overlord, oh my god, the Overlord's going to get out. It sees the Warp Prism, and it's going to get out. Unbelievable. Look at this. I think even if 2 Stalkers come out, they won't be able to get the Overlord in time. Nope. Overlord gets out. Warp Prism steaming across to Toperoco's Natra, or main, rather. Targeted, looked like right there to the main. He does have a Queen there, does have a Spore there. I'm going to try and warp in some DTs, but I think it's probably too late. As there are plenty of Zerglings here on the side of Toperoco. So 3 DTs warping in. It looks like he's going to send them all into this main mineral line. And an immediate surround by those drones. The DT's forced to try and attack individual drones. A couple are going to go down, but the Queen is already there. 7, 8, 9, 10. This actually worked out better than I thought it was going to. The Queen goes down. A lot of drones go down. 3 drone kills with 3 Dark Templar. That, friends, is definitely worth it. 100%. Well, now there's an Overseer here, so the second attempt might not go so well for Jay. But the first one was fantabulous. Back home for Toperoco, we see +1 on the way. Building another Queen here at his mate. no other appreciable tech in his base just yet. An Archon drop with 1 Dark Templar. Okay, interesting choice. See a couple Zerglings going out for Toperoco rather. Going to scout across that whole map. See that there's no hidden tech or anything that he noted. And keep an eye on these extra bases to see if his opponent's going to expand or just going to stay on 2 base. Meanwhile, some of these DTs are moving back in. No Overseer at the natural here. There is a Spore Crawler, but the DTs are going to immediately focus it down. A couple Queens are probably going to pull one of these DTs down before the Spore Crawler does go down. But the Spore Crawler, okay, Spore Crawler stays alive. Overseer just out of the way. And now we see some Archon juggling here with the Warp Prism. Warp Prism shields are down. The Queen's already taken it out. And the Warp Prism is going to get chased away. So the second attempt at some harass there by Jayhxmo, not going to go quite as well as the initial. But still not bad at all. Wow, going to warp in 2 more DTs and try and get some more Archon harass. A little flood of links coming through. Rafmot, thanks for the follow, man. I appreciate it. I hope you enjoy it. I'm glad you're enjoying the content. It's super kind of you to follow. I'm just blown away that people are always checking in. Alright, free Overlord kill. Meanwhile, Zealot charge has started. And 4 gates are on the way for Jayhxmo. Back home, Toperoco re-droning to replace all those drones he lost in the DTs. And here we go. These Archons going to pick up a Queen for free. Now, I will say, Protoss players, if you have the chance, you've already got that Robo built, right? Take a minute, slip in 1 Observer, and send it out with these Archons. You can clean all this creep with those Archons and an Observer, and it pays for itself almost immediately. So I will say one little tip that I'll give Jay for his next match. I think maybe rather than immediately going into these Immortals, which are very useful, don't get me wrong, might be real helpful to grab an Observer, and then you can start sweeping that creep and keeping the Zerg in the dark a little bit more. Oh, thanks, Ralph. I appreciate it. I'm terrible at StarCraft, and I'm still terrible at StarCraft commentary, but I'm trying, and I'm glad you're enjoying it. It's pretty casual stuff. My game knowledge is like nothing, so I make the wrong calls 90% of the time. But you know, it's still fun. Baneling Nest, Hydralisk Den. Finally, some tech here from Toperoco. But unfortunately, it's going to be a little bit late here. It looks like this Protoss aggression is going to hit him, and I think it's going to hit him pretty hard. He has not yet seen any of this coming because his Overlord got taken out earlier. He's got a big flood of Lings waiting, and he's adding some Overlords on. It looks like he wants to turn those into Dropper Lords, but they are going to spot the incoming Protoss aggression, and immediately these Zerglings forced to rustle back home as the Protosses march on to creep, and it looks like, oh man, this is a very, very dangerous attack. Drones pulled immediately from the natural. The Protoss storming up the base into the main. These charged Zealots ready to roll, getting blocked out by the Archons. The very unusual geometry of this main is causing the Protoss player to lose a little bit of surface area. Baneling's now waddling in, but they're all going to detonate on this one Archon. And oh man, there is still so much Protoss here. Army supply of 60 to army supply of 22. I don't believe it. I don't believe it, but it looks like Jayhxmo might actually take this match. Baneling's forced to wait outside the natural as the main gets absolutely ravaged. Baneling Nest gonna go down. Lair gonna go down. Spawning Pool gonna go down. A couple of Hydralisks on the way, but Jayhxmo in complete control of this situation. Now look at this, very smartly Jayhxmo building a shield back home so that if he has to recall because of some sort of Ling aggression like the kind we're seeing here, if he's forced to recall, he'll be able to have a little bit more bite in his defense, but it looks like he might not need it. Marching down the ramp into the natural. The natural about to disintegrate. To fight this, I see 1 Hydralisk, I see 3 Banes, and I see a handful of Zerglings. There are 7 Hydralisks on the way, but that's not going to be enough to mount a defense in 3 Immortals, 2 Archons, and a whole lot of charged Zealots. Look at this Protoss Bio Ball moving out onto the map. Gonna go straight for the third now. 1, 2, 3 bases are down. Back in Jayhxmo's base, there are some Zerglings here, but a Warpit of charge lots is going to make them go away, and it looks like this Protoss Bio Ball content to take the third out. Oh man, some wonderful, wonderful force fields there on that large ramp going down in the third. Going to prevent the small force that Toperoco has been trying to rustle up from engaging. But it doesn't matter. Even when they do engage, there's simply too much here with a score, supply of 160 to 36. Oh my gosh, Jayhxmo is taking it out. First Map of the night that Toperoco has not won. Good game to Jayhxmo. Hokey smokes, friends. It happened. It finally happened. Alright, so Jayhxmo going to steal the first green check mark of the night. Again, you can keep an eye on these matches. I'll be updating the Google Sheet live. If you type exclamation point matches, you can keep an eye on exactly what matches are up. So Rafmat, how is this structured? Yes, Toperoco. So Rafmat, this comes from the Platinum Heroes Discord, which is a training Discord. And so Toperoco is one of the coaches on that Discord. And he is fighting all of his students. So anybody that's less than Masters is welcome to challenge Toperoco to try and upseat the coach himself. And we've just seen the first upset of the night, Jayhxmo. Now, the good news is loser chooses the map. So we do have the map choice from Toperoco already. We're going to get these players back in for game number 2. Fantastic work by Jayhxmo. I will say, CXO, if you're watching the stream, you are up next, so please be ready to roll as we get these players back in to our lobby for game number 2. Alright, one of our players does need 1 minute here before we get started. So let me pop it and make sure that CXO is ready to go. There we go, getting started. Wonderful work. Oh, CXO, rock and roll, ready to go. Excellent, excellent. Thank you so much for being on top of this. All right. Oh, man, I'm excited. This is the first time we've seen Year Zero in this tournament today. So let's hope for a great match, and let's get into it. All right. Year Zero, LE spawning on the right-hand side of the map in the purple, coming off of his first game loss of the night, putting his record so far at 4-1. It's Toperoco. And his opponent winning a free sub from DeCC. So even if he loses the next 2 games, he's got something to fall back on, which is a subscription to my channel. Small potatoes, but hey, you gotta start somewhere. From Clan Jayhxmo, it is Jayhxmo. Jayhxmo currently living in the States, however, he is apparently originally from Korea. So I think the memes are real in that Koreans are the best at StarCraft, man. It's as true today as it always has been. So same sort of build here from Toperoco. I imagine we'll see the spawning pool out here pretty quickly at 17. There it is. Gasp before pool now from Toperoco. With that natural expansion down already. So it looks like he might be hoping to get some early tech cranked out. I'm not sure exactly what Zerg build you're going for if you get gas before pool. Jay, of course, going to get this probe into the base. Do a little... Oh, I thought he was going to do some mineral harass. Mineral harass, pardon me. Oh, there we go. He's doing a little bit there. Nice little cute little harassment from the probe. The probe is going to see this spawning pool timing, going to know that it's a very late pool, and we'll see if he decides to counter it in any way. Jay's Cyber Core is down, blocking off, leaving a little space in his wall there this time, so I think the wall off is a little bit more successful than last time, where it did raise some eyebrows, I noticed. Second gas taken. And it looks like Toperoco again being very conservative with this build. Look at this. Is the music too loud? Or is it just about right? It's great though, isn't it? Awesome. First Adept on the way out, getting chronoed there, Jayhxmo. Of course, Toperoco's Overlord is going to spot that as it moves to the safe little location. Just about right. All right. Thanks, guys. Yeah, so this is from StarCraft Brood War. Turn it down just a bit. This music is from StarCraft Brood War, which is the most rockin' soundtrack. It's really incredible. If you guys aren't familiar with... I was a musician a long time ago. Music that's played like in movies and in video games that just kind of happens like behind you, like you're not supposed to be listening to it. The name for that is called incidental music. And StarCraft Brood War has some incredible incidental music. Up until that point, for the most part, incidental video game music had been like this really annoying either poppy stuff or kind of soundless like waveforms, basically. But Blizzard released StarCraft Brood War, and their incidental music was, oh my god, a Dark Shrine. Anyway, Brood War came out, and their incidental music was this, like, absolute rock and roll. It's phenomenal. So if you get a chance, get on YouTube, man, and you can search for the StarCraft 2 Brood War music, and there's a couple playlists of all of them, and they're dope as hell. Ninotter, yeah, it's the Terran theme, but there are 4 Terran themes. They're called literally just Terran 1, 2, 3, and 4. And they are the 4 best tracks by far. Alright, so Dark Shrine on the way. 3 more gates. Warp Prism coming up, queued right across the map. So we're going to follow this Warp Prism because I love this map so much. Check it out. Follow this Warp Prism. Now, the Warp Prism is immediately spotted by Toperoco. Let's see how he decides to respond to this Warp Prism coming in. He has not yet scouted the Dark Shrine and doesn't have any detection, it looks like. Couple of queens moving... Okay, up to the main here to try and fight this Warp Prism back. But, oh man, this could be close. This could be real close. Oh, the queens. There's no creep connecting those 2 bases, which slows those queens down quite... Oh, God, lag. Lag, oh, God. I'm so sorry, guys. The game lagged out at the worst possible moment. Oh, jeez. The 4 queens were able to take out that Warp Prism before any DTs got dropped. Oh, man, what a terrible time for the game to lag out, rather. Jayhxmo going to build his second robo facility, and hopefully... Okay, so interestingly, Toperoco must not have gotten a click on those DTs. He didn't see what they were. We don't see any Spore Crawlers. Okay, there's 1 Spore Crawler at the 3rd, but nothing just yet. We see the... Okay, 2 Archons loaded in this Warp Prism, but again, this Zergling is going to spot it. Very nicely done. So again, Toperoco should know that there's some more harass coming, and he's going to deliver a blow of his own as he moves into position around this 3rd base. Going to go for the cancel here on this 3rd. There is 1 Adept there to defend, but the Adept immediately going to get surrounded, and a lot of Zerglings here to force a cancel on this 3rd base. Oh man, 2nd Adept shades over, but it's not quite ready. Looks like the Warp Prism harass not going very well here for Jayhxmo, as there are plenty of queens out front. Remember what Toperoco was telling us about how many queens he builds earlier. You can see their immediate usefulness as they do drive away that Warp Prism and prevent any further Archon harass. Although I will say, Jayhxmo doing a great job this time of pairing up an Observer with this Archon harass so he can pick off creep tumors. That's something we didn't see in our last game with our Protoss player, and it's really important that you do that. It can be incredibly useful. There we go. Archon should clean up these Zerglings almost immediately. The Zerglings, yeah, a couple Zerglings get out there. We do see Blink now on the way for Jayhxmo, and a couple Immortals now being started from the Robo facility. He is supply blocked. Needs to fix that right away. Yeah, oops. That happens to the best of us, doesn't it? Alright, Queen's just spreading that creep. And we do see just a lot of generic Zerg. Get some popcorn. Dude, low fare. I would love some popcorn right now. Oh, my favorite. A couple Roaches now coming out. But just a number of upgrades. So Toperoco happy to sit back and just tech up as he's been able to drive back these harassments. Look at Amon. As he's been able to drive back these harassments and prevent them from getting into his base. This time, however, it may be a little bit different. A lot of Roaches in the main, but okay, there we go. These 2 Archons are going to drop on top of the hatchery. The Queen's going to try and drive that Warp Prism away, but the Archons are already down. Jayhxmo just going to give up, I think, and get out of there. Could pick off a free Overlord here if he wanted to. Get him. Get him. Drop him. Get him. Get him. Drop him. Yeah. Nice. 8 more roaches. Wow, look at the unit tab here. Going to be 26 roaches on the field here pretty quick. That's a lot of roaches. And if we get the upgrades tab, we can see that Glio Reconstitution is already finished, which is roach speed, but then +1/+1 already on the way for these roaches as well, just about to finish up. Now the Protoss does have +1 weapons, but I don't believe any other upgrades. Yeah, just +1 weapons for this Protoss player. So 1/1 roaches are going to do a dandy of a job here. Wow, hallucinated warp prism. Going to force him to waste a lot of those biles. Going to be frustrated when he sees that it's a hallucination. But the good news is that hallucination also picked up exactly the movements and composition of this army. We're going to see if our Protoss player decides to respond any differently. Honestly, he already has 4 Immortals out, a 5th one on the way. 5 Immortals against Roach Ravager. Going to do a fantastic job as long as he's got enough gateway units in the front to protect himself. And as I say it, look at that, warping in some more Stalkers and getting ready for the move out now that he has that Warp Prism. Dropping the Archons, making this army as scary as possible, and now he can just move across the map. Roach Ravager taking the initiative and moving out into the middle of the map. Looks like Toperoco wants to fight at the his opponent's 3rd base here. Now let's see where he's going to go. Morphing on 1 more Ravager. 8 roaches back home that he's still waiting on. Warp Prism, Warp Prism, Warp Prism, no! The Warp Prism goes down. It's going to make juggling those Immortals a lot more difficult because it doesn't exist. Another Warp Prism immediately started, but that was an incredible pickup there by Toperoco and a significant lapse in concentration from our Protoss player, Jay. Jay going to eat a lot of corrosive biles here as he moves his army right into this Roach Ravager push. Some good force fields and a couple blinks do prevent a lot of these Roach Ravagers from firing, but it looks like the concave that Toperoco have is absolutely incredible. A couple 4 Immortals still in the back here, doing very great work here. The force field's going to get gunned down by the corrosive biles, but now the Roaches and Ravagers are on top of this Protoss army, and they are picking off those valuable units, those Archons, those Immortals. New Warp Prism has been dropped, able to micro the Roaches and Ravagers, or pardon me, micro the Immortals around a little bit as the Roaches and Ravagers continue to shell away. Lag, oh no, there we go. Continue to shell away at the 3rd base of Jayhxmo. Oh man, great pickups there by Jayhxmo, keeping these Immortals alive, and it looks like Toperoco's initial push is going to get thwarted here. Missed 1 Immortal there, but Toperoco is going to get away. Pause, please. Yeah, I think we got some lag spikes. Alright, Jay is up to something. Oh, my eyes are gone from that engagement. My eyes are gone from that engagement? Sorry, 1 sec. He lost his eyes? Oh, maybe monitor too bright. Oh, the after list. It does need to get updated. I'm sorry, guys. Oh, crap. Now I've screwed it all up. Need to blink more often. Oh, you dope. Alright. Ready? Okay. There we go. Updated. Sorry, guys. Trying to do a couple things. There we go. Iris, what's up? Welcome back to the stream. So good of you to join us. We've got this crazy best of 3 going on right now. Nice dodge, a good blink out of those biles, but unfortunately the other Immortal is going to go down. All the high value units for the Protoss army have been picked off, and the supplies represent that. Look at that, 107 army supplied at 12. This is the death knell here for Jayhxmo. No matter how well he blinks away, he's definitely in a lot of trouble. And we can see, yeah, the Zerg army is just going to turn tail. Actually, ooh, nice, very nice. Going to split off here and move his army into a couple different places. There we go. An attack going on at the natural here. A couple Blink Stalkers are trying to get out of the way. And there's also a bunch of units here at the 3rd base. Jay is definitely getting stymied. There it is. Toperoco taking game number 2 on Year 0 LE. Which means, that's right, folks. We are going into our first game 3 of the night. The map score is currently 1-1. Will Jayhxmo be able to upset the champion? If you're interested in the scores, you can type !matches into the chat, and that'll bring up the Google Doc that I'm keeping track of live as the matches go through. Let me get Jayhxmo's map choice, and we will get started here very quickly. Thank you so much for your patience, guys. Oh, Kolasmar, thanks for the follow, man. I'm glad you're enjoying it. Oh, man. Jayhxmo's thinking hard about his map choice. Yeah, coming up next is CXO05, followed by Cryogenic. And actually, after those two matches, that'll be all we've got for the 11 o'clock block, the 11 o'clock UST block of this tournament. So we'll have to see what we want to do after that. All right. Next map has been chosen, Cyber Forest LE, for our losing Protoss player, Jayhxmo. Let's get Toperoco in here as well. We'll get the players in and get started on match number 3. Kolasmar. It does sound very, maybe Polish. The CZ is what's confusing. But I'm terrible with foreign names, even though I have a super weird name. All right, both players are ready. Let's rock and roll, baby. Getting into game number 3, our first game 3 of the night, with the reigning champion and coach on the Discord server, Toperoco, fighting every challenger who's punching up out of their weight category. Hybrid, Creighton Olsen, what's your name? I don't want to blow any minds here, but my name is Creighton Olsen. Oh. The hell? Oh, I'm watching. Sorry, guys. There we go. All right. In the bottom right-hand corner of Cyber Forest LE. It is our reigning champion, the purple Zerg player himself. It is Toperoco. Fighting for his life, his honor, and his glory. He can't afford to lose to one of his students. And his opponent. In the top left of Cyber Forest LE, in the green, the first person to draw blood from our otherwise untouchable coach. From Clan Jayhxmo, it is Jayhxmo. Sneaky little early probe out here for Jayhxmo. Isn't going to get the cancel. Did prevent the building of that second base, so Toperoco did have to build at this less than optimal third base location. But we'll have to see exactly what he decides to do. That drone, there we go. Oh, you pronounce his name Jayhxmo, by the way? I've been calling him Jay. Oh, oops, Jayhxmo. All right, cool. Jayhxmo. That's why it's his clan tag. All right, I got it. What's the HX in the middle of his name then, M. Lunith? What's going on? Oh, and M. Lunith, thank you for the follow, by the way. It's so kind of you. I'm glad you're enjoying the tournament. This is super fun. The guys at the Platinum Heroes Discord server asked me to cast a couple of their matches in this tournament, and I mean, you can see I got a big, dopey Midwestern grin on my face. I'm loving it, man. I'm loving it. All right, Jayhxmo's still around here. Still poking around with this probe. Gonna see the exact timing of that spawning pool, give or take. Gonna know what he's up against. Yeah, has his natural on the ground as well. So no crazy games, no crazy builds, no wild cheeses, no cheddar up in here. These players just going as they should in a game 3 for a build that they're familiar with, a build that they know very well, and a build that they're comfortable with into the mid and late game. Hybrid was thinking that was actually my... Oh, the pylon block, too. A little late for a pylon block now that Zerglings are already out, but there we go. Gets the cancel, and finally drives that probe out, and Toperoco taking that third base a lot later than he would like. Legitimately thinking Creighton Olsen was my nickname. I mean, I don't want to disparage you because I've made dumb mistakes in my life as well, but that would be the dumbest nickname I could possibly imagine for someone. All right, Robo Facility is going to be the tech of choice here for Jayhxmo. let's see what he goes out of that. We do have an Adept coming out and Warp Gate Research on the way. All pretty standard here, again, for both players. An early Evo Chamber here for Toperoco, which I really like. Let's see if he can crank out a couple upgrades. So he's probably building this Evo Chamber a little bit early because he knows he was going to be short on larva, as that second hatchery didn't go down quite as quickly as I thought. I'd be interested to ask him in the post-credits, post-game sequence, what he thought about how well this hatchery block did, and how you as a Zerg can work around it as best he can. Yeah, it's a really unusual real name, so that's maybe that's understandable. Yeah, my real name is Daventude. No, that's my Reddit name. Alright, couple queens now on the make. Spores as well for Toperoco, who hasn't done a lot of scouting yet of his opponent. I imagine this Overlord will move in soon. But there is a... Oh, I guess he has seen a Stalker. The Overlord will probably just stay there and stay safe while he waits. Immortals now coming out of the Robo facility for Jayhxmo. And man, a very passive game so far. A couple Zerglings going to poke up, see that wall, and poke right back out. And +1 on the way here for Toperoco. And finally, a Warp Prism coming out. Looks like we're going to see some more harass, and it's going to be Immortal harass from Jayhxmo this time. Spore Crawlers are planted down, so I think Toperoco might have been a little bit rattled by the idea of possibly Dark Templar harass that he saw in that first game that seemed to work so well for Jayhxmo. But wow, a lot of Zerglings now swarming out here. No Baneling Nest yet, I don't think. I don't see a Baneling Nest yet, so not sure what these Zerglings are all going to do. It looks like a mutual scout is going to occur. These Zerglings are going to see the Warp Prism going out, and the Warp Prism is going to see those Banelings coming out. The Zerglings coming out, I keep calling them Banelings. Zerglings coming out, but a nice force field there is going to protect the low ground. Overlord driven from its home, but the Zerglings still attacking willy-nilly at that wall, and in fact, Toperoco sending more Zerglings. The Adept goes down, there's no sentry there to block it, no sentry energy, and the Zerglings swarm in. This could be GG. Zerglings straight into the mineral line here, and in fact that Warp Prism coming back home to try and defend, but oh my god, 21 workers already down, 30 workers already down. I think Jayhxmo needs to start bending over to kiss himself goodbye. What a great early strategy there from Toperoco. We saw that he was behind with the block of his natural and was able to capitalize on the change by killing off 37 probes. Looks like he is going to even get this natural. 6 workers remaining somewhere. Oh, up in the main here. But oh man, that should just be a GG. There is no reason for Toperoco to make anything other than links for the next 25 minutes. No matter how well that ramp is defended. He can clean everything out. I'm not sure what exactly Jay is still doing in this game. Licking his wounds a little bit. Keeping his pride. But, woof. Man, that's real difficult. Okay, so Jayhxmo is going to move out here. His last hope is to just get out and try and fight. But an immediate surround going to happen here by these Zerglings. And yeah, Toperoco sees it coming. Pops the shield on that Immortal very smartly. And gets a full surround on this army. A couple sentry, wow, a lot of sentry force fields there going down. Nice little donut of Protoss, but there's still so much surface area on the back end there. We can see the supply numbers just plummeting downward. One lone Zealot gets picked up, and Jayhxmo with the GG. Well played. Toperoco Zerglinged his opponent, because that's a verb now. Wow, Jayhxmo, quick shout out to the Daily Life clan. Rock and roll. What's up, Daily Life clan? You guys are awesome. You guys know Mabadi? He's on my stream all the time. He's one of our players for later tonight. Get out. All right, Toperoco's going to take game number 3, and his honor remains unbesmirched as he has still not dropped a set. So congratulations to Jayhxmo for drawing first blood, but also to Toperoco for his so far perfect 3-0 match score. All right, gang, I'm going to put a couple minutes back on the clock, take a quick break, and then we're going to queue up with our next challenge, CXO 05. Thank you so much for your patience, and stick around, guys. Don't go anywhere. All right, gang, we are back. I totally forgot that we have the post-match replay that we are going to go over now with Toperoco. So, Toperoco, welcome back. Thank you so much.
Hey.
Excellent. So I asked Toperoco what he wanted to look at this game, and he said all 3 of those games were fantastically interesting. Couldn't agree more, Toperoco. Can you tell me, why do you want to talk about game number 1? What did you see here that you liked so much?
I think there's more things to talk about. It's a bit more diverse because it wasn't just one strategy. It was one strategy going into another one and going into yet another one. And there are some crucial micro tricks here I wanted to point out, and also some crucial mistakes that were happening on my side that lost me the game.
All right, sure. So let's speed the game speed up just a little bit. Until we see something a little interesting going on. Are there any particular micro tricks that you remember that you wanted to look over?
Yeah, for defending the DTs, first of all, of course, it's important to see those DTs.
Yes, you had a rather unusual scouting pattern where I thought you were going to miss him there for a minute. Let's skip ahead to... Yeah, we saw your Overlord here came in, and...
Yeah, I saw it already, though.
Oh, yeah, so you
like
saw
I just
the DT
clicked
shrine
straight
there.
into the main. Yeah, so already from my vision you can see this is a 2x2 building.
Yes.
So it's a small one, so and it's a weird place for another pylon, right?
Sure.
And the only other 2x2 building is a shield battery, so I wouldn't expect either of those there. So I went straight back.
Sure, and that was... I do want to mention this is the best BM I've seen in some time, patrolling your Overlord over the DT shrine.
Yeah.
Okay, so as soon as you're a Zerg and you see this DT shrine, what are you doing back home?
I'm immediately starting a lair because I need overseers at some point.
Sure.
This is a super early lair, right? You noticed I have the evolution chamber and I mined 100 gas for +1 upgrade, but instead I invested that 100 gas into the lair.
Ah, okay, very smart. So making that change as you see. Very, very cool. So even though he was scouted, did he end up doing anything with these Dark Templar?
Yeah, they still came in and tried to snipe the crawlers. So I got a spot crawler on each base just to get detection.
Sure.
Because I don't have enough gas for like 3 or 4 overseers here.
Ah, yeah, okay, so it's a gas issue. And then, yeah, you saw this,
Yeah.
Saw this
and here
coming in.
the drone micros is cool.
All right.
So if you go back and play that a bit slower.
Just a minute here. And let's take a look at this drone micro, because I was pretty interested as well. Oh, and Chelch is hosting. Rock and roll. Okay, so let's look at this at normal speed here. We see the warp in here for the DTs, and you're obviously they're going straight for your mineral line, right?
Yeah. So what I do with the drones is I right-click them on the leftmost mineral patch, then right-click on the queen, and then hold position.
Okay. So say that one more time for everybody who's listening, a little bit more slowly.
Yeah, so I control-click my drones, so I select all of them, then right-click on the leftmost mineral patch right below the queen, so they all stack onto that mineral patch.
Okay.
And then I give them a move command on my queen, so you see now they're backing up, surrounding the queen.
Sure.
And then I hold position, and that way their targeting priority is lower than that of the queen, so the DTs don't attack them.
Wow, that's pretty cool, man.
So you can buy time, and when the links are there, I attack with the drone.
Okay, now you still lost a significant number of drones here. Is there anything you could have done a little bit better with your micro to prevent that?
With micro, probably not, because I have to use the drones here. Otherwise, the fuelings and the queen would have died to the DTs.
Sure.
But I think this is fine, because this is quite the investment. All the DTs died, so there will be no Archon drop just yet.
Right, very smart.
So I think losing 12 drones here.
Okay, cool. And then yeah, I'll zoom out a bit and speed up the game just a bit. We can take a look at what else was going on. He did warp in a couple more DTs to do that Archon drop up onto your natural. But I believe you picked off the Prism right after that, and were able to spot those DTs because you had the time to get the Overseers up. Is that correct?
Yeah, now I have this Overseer right here.
Got it.
And there only seems to be a single Archon.
Yeah, one Archon, and then because he warped in, I think he only had 3 gateways free, so he warped in 3 DTs, or didn't have enough gas or something. 3 DTs, turned 2 of them into Archon. but then you were able to defend really well here at your natural, and then pick off the Warp Prism as well.
Yeah, another DT also on the third base, but 2 queens, spore crawler.
Easy as pie.
And that's, yeah.
Excellent. Well, I think we'll leave it there. That micro trick that you were talking about with your drones here in the natural or the main was fantastically interesting.
Yeah, there's a lot you can do with worker micro because they have this different targeting priorities. Whenever you A move them or attack something with them, they get the same targeting priority as normal units. And whenever they do anything else, like standing around, hold position, or mine, they have a lower targeting priority. So other units will ignore them and go straight for fighting units.
Very cool. Very cool indeed. Well, thank you so much, Toperoco. We'll take a quick break after this and get right back into the next match. We're going to be back on Cyber Forest again with a Terran facing you as Protoss. So good luck in your next match.
Sounds good. See ya.
All right, guys. We're going to leave you with a little bit of music, and I'm going to